Thank you, Bishop Tracy, and it is really a privilege and an honor to be with you this morning. I bring you greetings from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Jordan, in the Holy Land, from our Bishop, and from Dar al-Kalima University, the first and only university in all of Palestine with a focus on arts, culture, and design. And with your theme, I think we fit very well, right? And I bring you also greetings in the name of our students that you see in this picture. They are both Muslim as well as Christian students. So this is the real Bethlehem, just to make sure that it's not Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, right? This is where the whole story started, right? This is where the Bible emerged. By the way, not in the Bible Belt. Sorry for Texas, but it was in Palestine that the Bible emerged. But if you come to Palestine today, we live in a very difficult situation. I think you keep hearing about the situation in Palestine, right? And sometimes people talk about it as if it were a conflict, but actually, if you want to clearly see what is going on, the best description is settler colonialism, which means the Israelis are coming from Europe to take over the land and to push us in reservations. And basically, Bethlehem is one of these small reservations. And if you look at these pictures, they are all taken from Bethlehem. Bethlehem is surrounded today by 54 checkpoints. So every road leading in and out of Bethlehem has such a checkpoint. So the whole, the whole Bethlehem right now is less than 8 square miles. So this is where we can move freely. But also, in the last few months, we have been experiencing lots of incitements against Christians, against Palestinian Christians, from radical Jewish groups. Maybe some of you saw the video of the one Jewish settlers attacking the nun in Jerusalem last week, throwing her on the ground. The Minister of Security, Ben-Gvir, that you see here, said, this is a quote, "Spitting towards Christians is not a crime, it's a Jewish tradition." And when somebody in the government is saying that, you can imagine how, these young people take that seriously and then attack the Christians. And so just this year, 62 incitement against Christians took place in Jerusalem by Jewish radical groups. Not to speak about Gaza with the genocide, which actually continues. Over 70,000 people were murdered, over 200 people injured, 70% of the infrastructure destroyed, including our campus. Our base is in Bethlehem, but we were the only university in the West Bank with a campus in Gaza. That campus, unfortunately, was destroyed by an Israeli airstrike during Holy Week 2024. So you can see this is the image actually of our campus in Gaza. Now, your theme is song, right? How can we exactly. I just wanted to make sure that you still remember it. And remember, the first hymn was sung in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, right? When the angels sang, "Glory to God in the highest." And actually, this was a song of resistance. Because when you say glory to God, means glory is not to Caesar. Glory is not to the empire. And peace on earth was also a song of resistance, because it's not the Pax Romana, the peace based on domination, on oppression, but it's a peace based on justice. And actually, this is what we as church continue to proclaim from Bethlehem, from Palestine, God, we should give the glory, not the empire. One of our students, just last year, he's at Dar al-Kalima University, and he did his master class in contemporary art, and this was his graduation project. And he called this work, They Still Make Music. And really talks about people in Gaza, who are totally, despaired. They have lost everything, and they still continue to make music. This is his picture. His name is Alauddin. Aladdin, that story. So that's his name. And just this last year, we published a book called Lilies of Gaza. You can find that on Amazon. That tells the story of 22 female artists from Gaza. 2 of them didn't survive the genocide. 6 of them were able to get out of Gaza, but the rest are still in Gaza. They are our staff. And they try to tell their story. And one thing they said, for them, culture, including singing, is the art to breathe. When sometimes you feel you cannot breathe anymore, culture is exactly that. It's the art to breathe. We heard this morning from Rachel about Ephesus and that maybe it was written in prison, right? Remember, many songs came out of prison. Right now, since October 7th, 23,000 Palestinians were in jail, just for political reasons. They are not criminals or so, including one of our students that you can see here. His name is Munir. And Munir also finished his master's degree just 2 months ago. And he looked, you can see it here, he examines the visual expression in the artwork of the Palestinian political prisoners in Israeli detention camps and prisons, as these creative products are loaded with symbols and meanings that signify continuity of resistance to systemic incarceration. And Munir actually is a Muslim. In prison, he's not a good singer, but he's a great artist. So this is the artwork that he did in prison. Now, he is a Muslim, but he did what? The cross, right? Why? Because that symbol in prison gave him the stamina to survive. It's exactly this power of music, of art, that we hear in the Bible, and it's something very real. And the nice thing, actually, there are 3 female persons crucified. And if you come to our university, at the center of the Innovation and Entrepreneurial Hub, you have this artwork of David playing the harp. Again, another Bethlehemite. David, right? And why was he playing the harp? Because Saul was depressed. And so this is the first story in the Bible, actually that we know of music therapy, right? And actually at Dar al-Kalima, we started the first master program in music and art therapy in the whole region. And music as a tool for healing. In this country, you talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, right? PTSD. Now that doesn't work in Palestine because we are never in the post era, Our situation has been going on now for almost 80 years, since the Nakba. In fact, yesterday, it was exactly 79 years since our people were, kicked out of Palestine, over 800,000 people. And so that doesn't work in Palestine. So our professors right now are researching, doing really state-of-the-art, cutting-edge research on how to do and how to deal with continuous, so it is CTSD. It's a continuous trauma that our people are experiencing, and I'm excited. We are bringing in August some of the top leaders in the area to actually work on this. But you know, music also tell our deep stories. Rachel said that, you know, the music that we hear as kids is the music that we stay with us when we die. But imagine also this music over generations that stayed with us. And so just last year also, our professor that you see here finished the first ethnomusicology work on Palestine, trying to document all of these songs that we had, you know, came to us through generations, and the depth of wisdom, of culture, of identity that is in these songs. This is part of the work that we do actually at Dar al-Kalima University. And I would like to end with this. Actually, these paintings come from one of our students in Gaza. And for him and for us, art actually is a way of resilience. And resilience for our people is so important. You know, in the African American community, it was the gospel songs that kept the African Americans through oppression, through slavery. They kept them, they learned how to survive and thrive in spite of all things that they have actually endured. And this is exactly also the context in Palestine. It is the music that keep our students in Gaza alive and even flourishing in spite of everything. Please pray for our ministry as a church, for our ministry as a university. And I hope if you come to Palestine, don't miss to come and visit us in Bethlehem. Not only where Jesus was born, but you can see also the real people that continue this ministry that Jesus started 2,000 years ago of preaching, healing, and teaching. So thank you very much, and God bless this synod.